All right, welcome back, warriors. I'm so glad you guys showed up for Breathwork and Reiki tonight. We have Dave Gieselman and Stephanie Ferreira tonight. Both people that I love. A lot of you guys have heard me talk about Dave and share his breath work. I know a couple of you have been in breath work. Oh, here comes Bernie. Have been in breath work with Dave before because I've shared his breath work sessions in Healing Warrior Parents, and he's actually come in and spoken to the big group before. Super intense breath work. So I'm glad that you guys are all willing to step in and give breath work a try. It's really, really, really great for mind, body, and spirit. That's something I want to stress in your grief healing. Healing your grief is not just about connection to spirit. You want to work it from a mind, body, and spiritual standpoint. Breath work is amazing for this because it will work with the somatic level, the physical level, to kick you out of fight or flight and get you back in charge of your nervous system. Then we're going to add in Stephanie tonight. She is actually going to step in and do Reiki. It's going to be kind of a long set. It's not really a long session compared to our coaching sessions, but it's going to be kind of a long session tonight because Dave's going to start with the breath work, and then we're going to move right into Reiki after that while you're still in flow state. So it's going to be a pretty intense experience. I'm excited for you guys to work with these two, and I'm just going to let you guys take it away. I'm going to let you plug yourselves and kind of introduce yourselves, and let's just get going. Thank you guys for being here with us too. So, all right.
Thank you so much, Nikki. Hey guys, I'm so glad you guys are here. Stephanie and I have done a lot of Reiki and breathwork together. So this is sort of our wheelhouse, and I'm really glad that everybody is here. So Stephanie, why don't you talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing? I'm so happy to have Stephanie. It has been so cool to have her working her magic while we do breath work. So Stephanie's going to tell you about what she's doing, and I'll tell you what our breathwork session is going to look like, and then we will get into it. So Stephanie, why don't you talk about how amazing you are?
Hey everyone, I'm so grateful to be here. I see so much beautiful art all around. It's like distracting me. I had already spoken, Stephanie from Fallen Apples Reiki. I had already spoken with Nikki, and she let me know that you guys are my people. You have either experienced Reiki or at the very least know what it is, so we don't have to get into the nitty-gritty of what it is. But something that I really like to emphasize is that it's me as the practitioner or a practitioner connecting with the universal life force energy that's surrounding us, zeroing in on you and your life force energy, everything that's moving through, above, below you, and sort of supercharging that energy, amplifying your body's own ability to heal. So it's kind of like we're both working together to supercharge it, for the highest healing of this moment, the highest need of this moment. And so that being said, that can be a physical need, a mental, spiritual, energetic, whatever it is. It's the key to Reiki is really the surrender to whatever it is you need, whether you're conscious of it or not, whether it manifests in the way that you want it to or it doesn't. It's that surrender. And so, like Dave was saying, we've been doing this for a while where we do both modalities together, and it's really beautiful. It works so synergistically because you work through all the breaths, you're working through all that resistance, you're pushing past all of it, and then by the end, you're just this open channel, like you're totally unlocked, like the resistance is all gone, and that is the key to really receiving, like, the greatest healing. It's that surrender, it's that openness. And so with that being said, some things you might experience when I am sending the Reiki, you might sense some temperature changes, you might feel some twitches, you might physically feel energy shifting, releases, crying, all the things. it's just allowing it, it's just letting it be, and none of it is wrong, and everything is perfect. And the other thing is, since you signed up and showed up, that is assumed permission. I do not send Reiki without permission. But with that being said, if you do not want to receive Reiki, you can, of course, send me a private message, of course. And is there anything else? Okay, so Dave's going to go through the breath work, and then it's going to be an hour of Reiki. So I'm actually really excited that it's not a lot of people, because I'm going to send it to you all individually. So I'm going to divide the time. So each of you are going to get more individual attention, which is super exciting. And then at the end, I'm going to hold the collective in the Reiki. So that's how it's going to look. If you have any questions, send me a message. And Dave, back to you.
All right. I'm super excited about this. So my name is Dave Gieselman. I am the founder and lead coach at Become Limitless. And I am a mindset and leadership coach. I work with a lot of different types of people, and breathwork is a tool that I use. It's not I'm not like Dave, the breathwork guy. I'm a coach, and breathwork is one of my tools. And I got introduced to the grief community and the mediumship community through Anthony Maraca, who I've known for some time, and blew me up on his podcast and different stuff. And he's really a big supporter of mine, and I love him a lot. So what happened was interesting. Anthony mentioned my breath work for those in the mediumship community or in the grief community, and a whole bunch of people began joining breath work. And what happened, and I had never considered this before. It wasn't a surprise when it happened, but both people's ability to medium's ability to connect with spirit, to kind of easily cross the line from one realm to the next, really opened up. And then people who were dealing with grief, because of the flow state that the breathwork triggers, there is a deep, very, very powerful way for dislodging grief, and to move through grief in a powerful and graceful way. I am absolutely not saying that one round of breath work is gonna cure grief. However, you are likely to find that through this type of breath work, we are able to touch places and begin to heal places that you have not yet been able to reach through your own sort of processes and some holdouts. This type of breath work and what we're doing has had massive effect in those suffering with PTSD, both caused by war and by trauma. And so the type of breath work that we're doing is a very, very healing modality, and it's why we're doing it today. So just quick show of hands, has anybody done breath work of any form? And we're all okay. All right. And so has anybody done breath work with me? Yeah, Caroline, I recognize you. Okay. And Angie, yeah, it's good to see you again. So tonight's exercise, what we're doing, tonight's process, it will be a 4-part breathwork exercise. So what this is going to look like is the first 3 rounds are going to be work rounds. And what that means is in each round looks basically the same. And so each round will be doing 11 minutes of focused, intentional breathing. I'll get into the specific techniques that we're getting into in just a second. Let me promise you right now that none of you has to remember anything I'm about to say. I will guide you all the way through this process. You don't need to remember names of techniques. You don't need to remember how long we're doing anything. None of it matters. I just want to tell you about it. So as we hit sort of each place in our session today, you're like, oh yeah, that's exactly what he said. That's what I remember. So we'll be doing, each round we'll be doing 11 minutes of focused, intentional breathing. It's going to be a little bit challenging, but I promise you got it. You can do anything for 11 minutes. At the end of that 11 minutes, we will have what is called a sublimation, which means we're going to take a great big deep full breath together, hold it briefly, and then release. And you're going to hold without inhale. In the first round, we'll do it 60 seconds. Second round, we'll do it 80 seconds. Third round, we'll do it hold without inhale for 90 seconds. Now, a couple interesting things are going to happen when you do this, right? The first thing that's going to happen is your mind, which is very used to this in out pattern of breathing you've been doing most of your life, your mind is going to get very concerned that you are not doing that. And it is going to suggest to you rather strongly that you should probably start again. Your body, on the other hand, just spent the last 11 minutes hyperoxygenating. Your body is fine and it knows it. So as soon as the information travels from your body to your mind that you are safe, once that happens, your mind will let go of the fear, which is, by the way, the direction that information always travels. That is the only direction that information travels. When you are in your stress response, when you are in fight or flight, your body must tell your mind that you are safe before your mind will let go of the fear, which is why very often when we are in our stress response, what can happen is we can feel like we got like one toe nailed to the ground and we're turning in circles. And we can't, because we can't think of what to do next. No, you don't have access to that part of your brain when you are in fight or flight. You're not going to be able to think your way out of it. Your body must calm before you will gain access to the complex thinking parts of your brain. So when you exhale and you hold without inhale, at first, it's going to feel very challenging, and then suddenly it's going to open right up, and you're going to feel like you can hold your breath forever. You're going to feel, it's going to feel very open and very free. If you've ever had a dream like that you were swimming underwater and then suddenly realized in your dream that you haven't taken a breath in some time, and it just feels like you can hold your breath forever, it feels very similar to that. And so you are likely to feel very, very free, very light, very open, very connected during these times. And then when it's time to breathe, you're going to take a great big deep full breath, and then you're going to hold. We're going to retain that air once again for as long as you can. And when it's time to release, you'll release a long, slow exhale. So 11 minutes of focused, intentional breathing. Great big deep breath in, hold, release, hold without inhale. When it's time to breathe, great big deep full inhale, hold. And when it's time to release, a long slow exhale. And I will guide you absolutely through all of this. That is one round. That is what one round looks like, and we'll be doing this 3 times. Now, when you release, you're not blowing all of your air out. You're just going to release. You're probably about 70% of your air. You're not emptying your lungs. You're just releasing your air. So in the first round, the first technique we'll be focused on is bellows breath. Now, this is a quick double inhale followed by a release exhale. And it sounds like this. In, out, in, out, in, out. This is a physiologically soothing breath. Think of like when we cry, when a child cries, they take that quick double inhale when we sob. When we cry, we do that. It is a physiologically soothing breath, which is why we do it when we cry. The second round will be focused on warrior's breath. This is deep in and deep out. In, out, in, out. If you've breathed with me before, you know what this breath is all about. You know that I am going to lovingly encourage you to push yourself. I want you to challenge yourself. Deep breaths as fast as a clip as you can go. Once again, it's only 11 minutes. It's going to feel like a workout, and it actually is. It's a nervous system workout. It's going to feel like a workout, but I want you breathing. I want you doing it. It's going to feel a little bit challenging. You totally got this. And then the third round is back to bellows breath. In, out, in, out. All 3 rounds will be breathing for 11 minutes, followed by a sublimation, great big deep breath in, release, hold with that inhale, and then a retention, great big deep breath in, hold, right? And so there are a couple things that you can expect to experience during this process. The first thing that you are likely to experience is resistance. We're going to get like 3 minutes into this thing, and some of you are going to go like, oh shit, I think I came to the wrong thing. Some of you are going to go like, this is not what I thought it was. I shouldn't be here. This is not my thing. I don't know what this is. The whole thing feels weird. I don't know who this guy is. He's playing weird music. I invite you to just breathe through that resistance. I promise it's going to come up. There will suddenly be calls to make, emails to return, errands to run. There will be dishes to do, laundry to fold, so many things that are going to come up. I promise are going to come up that are going to feel more important than doing this. I invite you to just breathe through that. I got you. You're fine. Just stay with the breath. Pay attention, though, to the language that your resistance is using, because that resistance is showing, that language is showing up in other areas of your life. Yeah, times when you don't want to go to the gym, don't want to stay on your diet, don't want to do that part of your job you don't like, don't want to do the chores around the house that you don't like. All the times that something comes up that you're, not super into doing, but is best, all of a sudden, that language is showing up, and it sounds like I don't have time for this. I don't have the energy for this. I'm going to sign up for it next week. I'm going to do this thing tomorrow, like whatever it is. Pay attention to that language, because your resistance uses language that works. It has found language that is effective in getting you to put stuff down that you have already agreed is super important. So just pay attention to the language. Keep breathing and just pay attention to how the language it's using to talk you out of stuff. The second thing you are likely to experience is tingling, numbness in the fingertips, the hands, the face. You are the type of breathing that we're doing causes a contraction in the microcirculation. The very smallest capillaries and blood vessels in your hands, your skin, your face, your lips are going to contract, and you're going to get a tingly, numb, foot fall asleepy kind of feeling going on. This is exactly right. If you're experiencing it, nothing is wrong. You may experience tetany. Tetany is a cramping of the hands. This is the physiological response to a rapid shift in your blood pH. And as we're shifting our O2 and CO2 levels in our lungs a couple different times, you are likely to experience tetany. Tetany is not painful, but it's just a cramping of the hands. Once again, this is not an indicator that anything is wrong. Tetany is an indicator that all of your systems are working exactly right, that everything is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. I get it very strongly when I do my own breath work. I'm a big physical, visceral guy. I enjoy the physical manifestation of the breath, and I cramp all the way up, and I like the contraction, and I like the release at the end. So if you experience tetany is like breathwork gang sign, right? Like, so if you hang out with a bunch of like breathwork people, right? If you hang out with a bunch of breathwork people and you throw up the lobster claws, like everybody knows what you're talking about. Everybody gets it, right? It's a very common thing. So you may experience tetany. The most important thing to remember in all of this is that you are in charge of your experience. Meaning, if any of this gets too intense, just back off the breath a little bit. If you have tingling numbness, if you have tetany going on, if you're feeling lightheaded, I promise it'll all go away. Your hands will open up, the tingles will go away, the lightheadedness will go away. Just back off the breathing a little bit and you will be just fine. It is very important that you understand that you are in charge of your experience. And just because I need to say this, if you are driving, please do not participate in this type of breath work. If you are driving, this exercise is not for you. Hang out, join us, breathe rhythmically and deeply. But if you are driving a vehicle, please do not do this type of breath work. I promise you will get lightheaded. I promise you will get dizzy. You may kind of wink out a little bit. Some people fall asleep on me. By the way, if you fall asleep, I promise I don't take it personally. But this is not the type of breath work to be doing if you are operating a vehicle. And so the last thing you are likely to experience, and this is the reason we are doing it, you are likely to experience a non-normal state of consciousness, an altered state of consciousness called transient hypofrontality, right? Transient hypofrontality, also known as flow state. This is what runners call runner's high. This is what extreme sports athletes call the zone. Surfers, snowboarders, free solo climbers, skydivers, all these people that we think they're chasing adrenaline, they're not. They're chasing this state, the one you are about to enter. And it is flow state, and it is an optimal state of consciousness. It is an optimal state of mental power. So transient, meaning it doesn't last real long. You can cultivate it but not capture it. Hypo, meaning less than. Frontality, referring to the prefrontal cortex. This is the newest, most human part of your brain. This is the part of your brain that is responsible for your understanding of time, your understanding of your ego self. Who am I? My sense of consciousness, my sense of myself. This is a long-term planning, risk assessment, all kinds of things. This is complex, deep, abstract thinking. This is the prefrontal cortex. And what we're doing is we are shutting it down temporarily. We are temporarily turning that part of your brain off. What you are likely to experience is a sense of deep connection, a sense that your sort of ego self has fallen away. And there's often a sense of deep connection to the people in this container with you, a deep sense of connection to the universe. Some people find a very quick connection to those they have in spirit. If you are a medium, mediums very often experience a blurring of the line between one realm and another, and find that they move through it very, very easily. And so all of these things are likely to happen. This is the reason that we are doing this. This is a very, very powerful healing state. And what happens is you can move a lot of energy up and out through this state without like having to process it all out. Like with a therapist, you can simply move through it faster than sort of emotionally and intentionally you can using other modalities. So that's what we're doing. That's what it's going to look like. And at the end, once you're all broken open and cracked open and receptive, Stephanie's going to start working her magic, and it's going to be a very cool session. Does anybody have any questions for me before we get started? Throw it in the chat or unmute yourself, however it's supposed to work. If anybody has any questions for me. Generally, somebody's going to ask if you have to do the breathing through your nose. You don't. The more you do breath work, the more you will tend to breathe through your nose. However, if it is more comfortable for you to breathe through your mouth, if you have allergies, if you have a cold, a minimum of one of us has been punched in the beak a couple times and doesn't have straight sinuses anymore. And so for some of you, it may not be super easy to breathe through your nose. I promise if you're breathing through your mouth, you are not doing it wrong. It's just fine. As you practice more and more breath work, you will find that you tend to do more and more of your breathing through your nose. It's like a yoga practice or anything else. Just as you practice more and more, your practice will get more refined and more pristine. So breathing through the nose is not wrong. So before we begin, this is where you guys get comfortable. You need to lay down or be seated in a chair, like on a couch or something, where you are not going to fall over and fall out. You can get dizzy, you can get lightheaded in this process. So if you're sitting in a chair, just make sure it has arms on it, or you're on a couch where you're not gonna hit the ground with a bang if you get a little lightheaded. So the music is going to be about this loud. So if you can hear the music and my voice and the mix is good, give me a thumbs up. If you can hear my voice, you can hear the music, cool. Good, all right, perfect. And let's get started. I'm so pumped for this, guys. And let's begin. Begin with a deep breath in through the nose. And release. Breathe deeply. In and out of the nose, breathing into the belly. Take a moment. Give yourself full permission to be here till the end of this session. To not have anything better to do, not have anything more important. You can just be here. You can just be present. Feel a wave of relaxation moving up your body, relaxing your feet, relaxing your ankles, your calves and your thighs, relaxing your hips and your back. Relax your core, your chest, your shoulders, and down your arms. Relax your neck and your jaw. Relax your face and soften behind the eyes. Relax the very crown of your head. Imagine somebody pouring warm oil over the top of your head. You can actually feel your ears drift down towards your shoulders as your scalp relaxes. Put your awareness on your third eye and look inward. Observe the quality of your thoughts. Are they still? Are they chaotic? Are they all over the place? Are you ruminating about something that happened earlier? Playing it over and over and over again in your head, trying to change the outcome? Are you worried about something that's going to happen later? It's again playing it over and over again in your head, trying to ensure a particular outcome. Or can you just be in the now? Can you just be present? Drop your awareness down into your heart center. Observe your emotional backdrop. Can you identify what you are currently feeling? Many cannot. Most of us are operating at about 3 to 5 different emotions at any given time. Can you identify what they are? Even more importantly, can you identify them without needing to do anything about them? Without thinking that they mean something or that you need to change them somehow? Finally, drop your awareness down into your gut center. Observe your body. How do you feel? Some of you are halfway through your day, some of you are near the end. Are you energized? Are you tired? Are you hungry? How have you eaten today? Have you had enough water? How did you sleep last night? When was the last time you stretched? How does your body feel? We look at these things at the beginning because it's important to get an idea of where you are starting. And once we have an idea of where you are starting from, then when we look at it at the end, we can see how far you've come. We'll begin our first round in about 50 seconds. It's again beginning with bellows breath, in, out, in, out. I'll count it down. For now, take a moment, set an intention, ask a question. What new insights would you like out of this process? What new perspectives? What new information? And beginning bellows breath in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, out, 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 in, out. Good. Put one hand on your belly, feel your belly rise and fall. Connect your inhale to your exhale and your exhale to your inhale. Elliptical breathing. No gaps. That's the real secret sauce. That's what gets you there. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Good. You're doing great. You don't have to be right on with my cadence. Find your own rhythm. Find your own cadence. If you lose your rhythm, just take a couple breaths and start again. If you're breathing, I promise you're doing this right. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Good. This first round is all about getting the mechanics down. We're about 2 minutes in, and some of you are questioning your decision making today. This feels hard, it feels uncomfortable. Your resistance is coming up. I don't know if this is the right thing. I don't know if I'm in the right place. What did I sign up for? I don't know what this is. Just keep breathing. You're doing great. In, out. 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 Good. The first stage of the flow cycle is actually struggle. It's actually resistance. It's like the first mile of any jog, the first round of any soul cycle or Peloton class, the first few asanas in any yoga class. It's hard. It's not easy. There's always resistance. We can use this round as a mirror for ourselves. What do we do when we encounter resistance? Do we use this as an excuse? Do we begin finding all the reasons and rationalizations? Why we can quit? Why we can do something else? Why we should join next week. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Good. Stay with it. Remain present in your body. Feel the air moving in and out. Feel your belly rise and fall. Connect your inhale to your exhale and your exhale to your inhale. Elliptical breathing. No gaps. One leads right into the other. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Good. I invite you to set aside everything you think you know about yourself, about breathwork, about me. Set it all aside. Allow yourself to have a new experience. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. If you breathed with me before, don't try to have last time's experience. Just have this time's experience. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Good. Breathe. Stay in your body. Remain present in your body. Just keep breathing. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Good. Breathe. Feel your belly rise and fall. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. You're doing great. Find your rhythm. Good. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Good. Use this round to unclutter your mind, unclutter your thoughts, unclutter your emotions, unclutter your energy. Observe what's coming up for you. Breathe. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. 3.5 minutes left to go in this round. You're doing great. Observe what's coming up for you. Thoughts, memories, emotions. Some of you may experience an emotional release. That's just fine. You're safe. This is the place to have it. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Breathe. Find the breath begins to breathe you. So you drop into the rhythm. Find your pace. Find your rhythm. In, out, in, out, in, out. Feel yourself rising into a clean, open space. Lots of room. New information. New perspectives. New insights. Feel your awareness expand as you emerge into a new awareness, a new understanding, and a new experience. Reach out with your energy. Support the other breathers in this container as they support you. Connect with Source. Connect with Spirit. Connect with the infinite. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Stay with it. Feel yourself open up. Feel your awareness open up. In, out, in, out, in, out. One hand on your belly. Feel your belly rise and fall. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Good. Coming up on our first sublimation. Just keep breathing. I'll count it down and we'll take a great big deep full breath together. Good. And taking a deep breath together in 3, 2, 1. Great big deep breath in. Hold. 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 And release out the mouth. Hold. Hold without inhale. Welcome to the sublimation. Hold here. Hold for 60 seconds. You got this. Ten more seconds. 5. Take a great big deep full breath. Fill your belly, fill your rib cage, fill your chest, and hold. Take a couple extra sips through the mouth. Relax shoulders, swallow saliva, focus on your third eye, tighten your core, squeeze. Squeeze the perineum, squeeze the lower 3 energy centers, pushing fresh oxygenated blood and cerebral spinal fluid up into the brain, flooding the pineal gland, firing your imagination. Squeeze that breath inside you. Compress the breath. Feel that pressure behind your eyes. This is sometimes called DMT breath. Good. When it's time to release, release a long, slow exhale through pursed lips, like you're exhaling through a coffee straw. When there's no more air, go back to deep, full belly breaths. Good. Deep, grounding breaths, nurturing, resetting the body. That was one round. You did great. We'll begin our next round in about 1 minute. Beginning with warrior's breath, deep in and deep out. Powerful, energizing breaths. For now, just breathe. I'll count it down. And beginning warrior's breath, deep in and deep out. In 3, 2, 1, breathe in, out, 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 in, out. Good. Tap your sternum with your fingertips. This is a chest breath. Breathing into the chest, activating your sympathetic nervous system, pushing your body into fight or flight. Good. Breathe into the chest, activating those stretch receptors and baroreceptors in the chest, triggering the production of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. This is the neurotransmitter that makes exercise feel good. Take you back 50,000 years. It's the neurotransmitter that makes escaping the wolf feel good. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Good. Push a hard pace. Challenge yourself. If you breathed with me before, push yourself. Good. Breathe in, out, in, out. If you can't do it, just deep, slow, rhythmic breathing. Stay with us. Good. In, out, in, out, in, out. Good. Keep breathing. The second stage of the flow cycle is release. It's when the body lets go and surrenders to the process. We can also use this round as a mirror for ourselves. What is it time for us to release? What is it time for us to let go of? What is it time for you to release? Fear, self-doubt, hesitation, indecision. What is it time for you to let go of? Where do you need to release? Where are you in conflict with what is? Not allowing it to be. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Stay with it. Stay in the breath. Connect your inhale to your exhale and your exhale to your inhale. Good. Push yourself. You got this. What is it time for you to release? What are the draggy anchors that you've been carrying around for far too long? What are the stories that you tell? What are the narratives? Stories about scarcity, that which isn't available to you, things that happened that shouldn't have, things that didn't happen that should have. Where do you play small? In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Push yourself. Push the breath. What is it time for you to let go of? Where are you and reality in conflict? Where do you say this shouldn't be like this? This shouldn't have happened. I shouldn't feel this way. Where do you struggle with what is? And is it time to let it go? Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Good. You got this. Stay with it. Stay in the breath. It's time to let it go. All that perfectionism, all that people pleasing. How often do you put on a mask before you leave the house? It's time to let go of the masks. Time to let go of the costumes. Time to let go of the bullshit. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Good. Time to step into yourself. Stand in your own center, in your own authority, in your own agency. I cast this out is no longer serving me. What are the narratives that it's time to let go of? What about the resentment? Resentment for things that happened and resentment for things that didn't. All of those plans that you made that didn't come to pass. You find yourself clinging to anger over them, clinging to resentment. Can you let them go? Release the hesitation. What are you waiting for? All the things that need to happen. When I make this much money, then I can do that. When I have this kind of partner, then I'll be that. When the scale says this means this about me. When I can fit into these jeans, when I can, whatever. What are the things you're waiting for? Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out. 2.5 minutes left to go in this round. Push yourself. Tap your sternum with your fingertips. Breathe into the chest. Stay with it. Deeper breaths. Faster pace. Drop in. You get to be the gatekeeper. You get to be the doorman. Nothing stays in your life without your consent. Not beliefs, not habits, not patterns. Anything that is heavy, you're allowed to set down. Anything that doesn't serve you, you are no longer required to carry. You can let it go. It's all right. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Good. Challenge yourself. Stay with it. Don't back off. You got a minute to go. Stay in it. Stay in the intensity. Stay in the breath. Let it all go. Let it all fall away. I don't need this anymore. I don't need to carry this around. It does not serve me. It may have at one point, but it doesn't. All of it. The anger, the resentment, the self-doubt, the fear. It's okay. You can set it down. You don't need it. Coming up on our second sublimation, keep breathing. I'll count it down. We'll take a great big deep breath together. In 3, 2, 1. Great big deep breath in. Hold. Hold. And release out the mouth. Hold. Hold without inhale. Hold in the stillness. Hold in the silence. Hold 80 seconds. You got this. Ten more seconds. 5. Take a great big deep full breath in. Fill your belly, fill your rib cage, fill your chest, and hold. Take a couple extra sips in through the mouth. Relax shoulders, swallow saliva, focus on your third eye, tighten your core, squeeze. Feel that pressure behind your eyes, see the colors as your body produces melatonin, serotonin, and dopamine all at the same time. With practice, your body will produce DMT and you'll have an authentic psychedelic experience. Some of you may already be there. Hold and squeeze inside yourself. Compress that breath. Good. And when it's time to release, release a long, slow exhale through pursed lips, like you're exhaling through a coffee straw. When there's no more air, go back to deep, full belly breaths. As your body shifts back into your parasympathetic nervous system, shifts back into rest and digest, shifts back into your relaxation response. Your heart rate slows, your breath returns to normal, and you teach your nervous system that it can trust you. We'll begin our third and final round in just a moment. Going back to bellows breath. In, out. In, out. I'll count it down. For now, just breathe. You're doing great. And beginning bellows breath in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Good. One hand on your belly, feel your belly rise and fall. Connect your inhale to your exhale and your exhale to your inhale. Elliptical breathing, no gaps. You're doing great. Good. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Good. See how easily your body drops back into this breathing pattern. It was such a challenge just a few moments ago. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. So in the first round, we uncluttered your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy. In the second round, we released everything that wasn't serving you. So now it's time to ask, what is it time for you to build? What is it your time for? What part of your healing journey are you on? What is it that you need to call in? What are the resources? What are you building? What are you creating and what are you repairing? In, out, in, out, in, out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Good. What are the next steps in your journey? And what do you need for that? Call them in. Those aligned friendships, aligned relationships, and aligned opportunities. Call in joy, laughter, courage. Call in adventure. Call in grace. The ability to walk calmly through calamity. The ability to not struggle with what is. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Don't call in patience if what you want is certainty. If you ask the universe for patience, the universe will give you an opportunity to be patient. If you ask the universe for certainty, it will give you the opportunity to be certain. But you have to take it. You have to step into it and make those decisions and take those actions. Breathe. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Keep it going. You got this. In and out, 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 in and out. Good. Every organism on earth knows that it's supposed to fully express. Humans are the only ones who doubt that. Humans are the only ones who doubt that it's their job to fully express. Somehow they need permission to do that. What is the fullest expression of you? What is that? What is you at full volume? Who are you dialed all the way up to 11? When you no longer dim your own shine, when you no longer shrink, no longer contract so that what? So that somebody else can be comfortable? When you no longer deny your own truth so that other people can be okay? What is that fullest expression of you? Full of light and hope and life. Not in conflict. What would that be like? To fully step into your fullest expression. What does that person do? Who does that person have around them? What are they capable of? And how do they make the world better every single day? In and out, 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 in and out. You got this. Stay with it. In and out, 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 in and out. Breathe. The energy that is beating your heart and breathing your lungs has been around since at least the Big Bang. electricity that is currently coursing through your brain has always existed. Breathe in and out, in and out. The molecules that make up your body, the atoms themselves, were flung from an exploding star 100 million light years away at the dawn of time. Everything that is you, from the matter to the energy, has always existed. Trust the time. Trust the energy. Trust the journey. In and out. In and out. In and out. In and out. 3.5 minutes left to go in this round. You can do anything for 3.5 minutes. Stay in the breath. One hand on your belly, feel your belly rise and fall. Feel the air moving in and out. Good. You got this. What is that life that you want for yourself? What does it look like? What are your next steps? What are the decisions that you need to make? And what do those decisions look like? What do you need to do? You know. It's time. It's been time. It's time for you to step back into yourself, back into your truth. You deserve it. You know you're allowed, right? You're allowed to step back into yourself. You're allowed to embrace. Breathe. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Good. Stay with it. In, out. In, out. In, out. Feel the breath. Good. Observe that life. Can you feel gratitude for it? Can you feel excitement for it? What if you believed that everything you wanted also wanted you? In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Good. Coming up on our third and final sublimation. I'll count it down. We'll take a great big deep breath together. Keep breathing. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Good. Taking a great big deep breath together. In 3, 2, 1. Great big deep breath in. Hold. And release out the mouth. Hold. Hold with that inhale. Hold 90 seconds. You got this. Hold in the stillness. 10 more seconds. 5. Take a great big deep full breath in. Fill the belly, fill the rib cage, fill the chest, and hold. Take a couple extra sips through the mouth. Relax shoulders, swallow saliva, focus on your third eye, tighten your core, squeeze. Compress that breath inside. Feel that pressure behind your eyes. Play on the very edge of that pressure. Find where the door almost closes on you and play in that twilight. Hold as long as you can. When it's time to release a long, slow exhale through pursed lips, like you're exhaling through a coffee straw. When there's no more air, go back to deep, full belly breaths. Welcome to the suspension. This is where you get to swim in your altered state. Explore your internal environment. All the hard work is done. All there is to do now is be present, be available, and be open. You're safe. I'm here. I'm holding the space.
And coming back slowly at your own pace. There is no rush.
I see a few eyes blinking.
No one get up too fast. You might feel a little lightheaded, unsteady from the breathing, the Reiki. Drink lots of water when you can, because that's super grounding.
All right. Thank you, Dave and Stephanie, so much for being with us and holding space this evening. If you guys would both send me, Dave, will you send me those links through Messenger, so that I can get them posted into the actual holiday program group instead of in the Zoom chat? Stephanie, if you'll send me your link to your page too, that way I can put it in with the resources.
Absolutely.
Dave has also posted links, guys, that I'll get posted in the group, for reviews on how the breath work made you feel. Stephanie, do you have a review page for what they experienced with Reiki as well?
I do, yeah. I'll send that to you.
It's good to sit with guys and rehash your experience with this. That's how you look at your measured progress and know what works for you. That way you can know which tools to utilize. Does anybody have any questions or comments before we close out tonight? Okay. Well, thank you, Dave and Stephanie. I appreciate you guys being here so much. Awesomeness as usual. Enjoy the rest of your in-between week and have a happy new year. For the rest of you, what is today? Tuesday? Thursday, you have a pop-up with Crystal Ewing. She's going to do a practice group reading to kind of spread her wings and use you guys as guinea pigs. Then Friday, I think we have a quick mini coaching session. Check the calendar and the schedule in the group. Check the thread discussions, because we're going to be discussing New Year's intentions for what we're going to be doing for healing in 2023. Other than that, tonight, sleep with angels. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us.